Hi, everyone. Welcome to the final 2024 episode of Rocking Around the Recruiter Tree. I am so excited to introduce you to a new face on Trap Chat. This is Clifton James. He's coming to us from the Philadelphia area. Shout out to all the Johns and all the Bulls out there. And as we usually do on our regular Trap Chats, I'm going to let Clifton tell you a little bit about himself. So, Clifton, can you please share your career journey to talent acquisition business partner at Publicis Media?
Of course I can. And thank you very much for having me on your show, Kirsten. You always share really insightful posts on LinkedIn and content. So it's definitely a privilege. And I do appreciate you, giving me this opportunity. So thank you. A little bit about myself. Like Kirsten said, I'm living right outside of the Philadelphia in South Jersey. And over the past decade, I've had the opportunity to work in talent acquisition. Most of the experiences I've had is in the industries of digital media, advertising, and technology. I've also had the experience of working globally, including 7 years in Japan, where I really broadened my perspective about recruiting talent from different cultures and different markets. So right now, I do work with Publicis Media, where I still focus on media planning and digital marketing roles. Recently, I've had a little bit of experience in leading and creating inclusive hiring programs and strategies as well. A little bit about myself on a personal note. I'm a big tennis fan. I've been playing for years. And I think there's some overlap when it comes to sport and recruitment where, there's a lot of continuous improvement, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's, refining your game, on the court and your form, or trying to find the more efficient way to source talent, and find different strategies as well. So I'm all about the trial and error and the A and B testing.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about thinking about recruitment and bringing a human perspective to recruitment in the age of AI. So, this is really a great opportunity for us to exchange, insights. So thank you again.
Yes, thank you. And that's a tremendous recruiting story. One thing you didn't mention, and I am here trying to keep it at 100%, you started in a staffing agency, right?
Oh, yeah. So I first started in a third-party staffing agency for a few years, and then I moved internal after 3 years. But during the staffing agency time, I've always focused on media, advertising, and technology. So it's kind of like a seamless transition into, internal.
All right. Well, let's jump into these rocking around the recruiter tree questions.
All right.
What unique challenges do recruiters face during the holiday season specifically, and how do you navigate them to ensure a smooth hiring process?
Right. So that's a good question. I think recruiters often have the challenges that are really unique to the year end because there's just so many different dynamics at play when it comes to prioritizing your recs. So, for example, some professionals are out of office, right? Others are, having their heads down in the laptop and just burning through work. So definitely the unique challenge is to, continue, I think, I would say continue being flexible. I would say my solution, a few tips that I would recommend other recruiters to do is plan ahead. And you can do that in a few ways by securing backup interviewers, just in case someone suddenly goes out of office and you have no idea. There should be maybe some backup interviewers that you could tag to a rec and get them in the interview process. That could be a good idea. I would also say you probably want to confirm some interview availability for January as well. That's in advance. That's a good technique as well that I've used, where I'll say, hey, could you let me know your availability for, the first couple of weeks of January, before the holidays, just so that you already have a few blocks of time that hiring managers and interviewers will be available to meet candidates. So I think definitely by being proactive and organized way, you can keep your hiring process on track and hopefully avoid, delays.
Awesome. Thank you for those insights. How are you and your team balancing the urgency, to get those positions filled before the end of the year, and then at the same time maintain that high quality candidate experience?
Yes, definitely balancing urgency and quality is crucial, especially at the end of the year throughout the holidays. So I do prioritize clear communication and transparency.
Nice.
Like I said in my previous response, I definitely try to flag, where timelines are unrealistic, right? Ahead of time, so that when we're getting back from the holidays, it's not like everything's on fire, and I want to keep the hiring managers and the candidates updated regularly. So it's all about managing expectations. Candidates appreciate when we're upfront about where they stand in the process before the holidays, and then after the holidays, right? They know that there might be shifts in budget, right? There might be things might close. So I think it's about really adjusting in real time, and accommodating the availabilities of everyone, but also ensuring that you are communicating at every stage. And that's the key to success when you're balancing urgency and quality for me.
Absolutely. Communication is definitely the key. And I think it does go a long way when you are upfront, transparent with candidates, because a lot of times they're like wondering what's going on, and sometimes we get scared to tell them that the position is going to be put on hold for a time, or that our hiring manager isn't there. So I appreciate the fact that you prioritize setting those expectations in advance, and getting any coverage you can, and just being mindful of providing both the hiring stakeholders and the candidates with a great high quality experience. Appreciate that from you.
Agreed. You have your expected start dates that might have been, set, and that might have to be moved, before the holidays. But if you do that, then make sure that, I would say, flag that, talk to your manager. If you have a really good relationship with the hiring stakeholders, then you can do that directly. But I would say, you don't want to come into January having, the expected start date be, past due, and then or unrealistic, right?
Absolutely.
You might want to get that shifted and worked out and negotiated upon before the holidays.
Awesome. Moving just a little bit to the right, do you have a memorable recruiting success story or a lesson learned that holds particular significance during this season where we're ending the year and everyone is having competing priorities?
Yes, we're definitely ending the year, so I get a little bit nostalgic around this time, kind of thinking about 2024, and I would say one of my success stories, which I mentioned earlier, was launching and leading a DE&I hiring program.
Nice.
And building that from scratch. So this was an initiative that I kind of created, and it was an idea of mine, and I had to get support from leadership, other departments, and quite a few number of stakeholders were involved, anywhere from HR, DE&I, and the business resource groups that we leveraged. And the initiative itself was connecting candidates that were in the interview process to business resource groups, or employee resource groups, I guess they're called in other companies, with the candidates directly. So it helped candidates, it gave them the choice to establish a relationship within the organization of a certain affinity group or cause that they're interested in. So that was a really great program, and we saw a significant increase in candidates from underrepresented groups in the pipelines, and then that translated to new hires as well. So it was a success story that I'm really proud of, for sure.
Yes, that's awesome. I'm going to give you a hand clap there.
Thank you.
I can't, my tambourine is, my tambourine's too far away, but normally I would have.
Oh, really?
I don't want to reach across too far. Okay.
Yeah, I would say another lesson that I learned this year is definitely the power of networking and authentically building relationships. I think that's how we got in contact.
It is.
Yeah, I had a 3-month unemployment gap where, I was, out of a job, and I didn't really know how to establish, myself in the market. But I utilized, connecting with former colleagues and networking with people in the same, field as myself to build out experiences that, we could share. So whether that's a 15-minute, coffee chat or, an online meeting, I think that's showed me that, the 3-month unemployment showed me that there's a huge value in personal connections, and that, they can open up doors at any time.
I want to stay there, and you're welcome to share the same advice or add a little bit more to that. But what advice do you have for job seekers who are navigating not just even the holiday job market, but just, a period of prolonged or extended, longer than they would like, unemployment? And, are there any adjustments or seasonally or otherwise that they should be aware of in their job search strategy?
Yes, definitely. It could. This season is a season of flux. So my advice to job seekers during the holiday season is to take advantage of the quieter time that sometimes comes with the holidays and reflect upon their career goals, possibly refine them, right? Polish up their resume is really, I think, something you could do during this downtime. But it also could be a busy time, right? So I would also say, manage your expectations when it comes to maybe reply rates of your applications or, people getting back to you. Sometimes people are just trying to get their projects done, and it could be a little bit challenging, but that definitely shouldn't deter you from, reaching out to old colleagues, people you've lost in touch with throughout the years. You have a big excuse, the holidays, right? Send them holiday greetings.
Ooh, that's great. Listen, that is great. That's great advice.
Yeah, and just reconnect. I think, you'll find that maybe some people are in between projects, right? And they might just be, having a week of, downtime. So you never really know where a casual conversation could lead. And I would say definitely be proactive about establishing and reestablishing relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you maintaining the work-life balance? And I know a lot of my other guests mostly have said there's no such thing as work-life balance, but I still want to ask the question because there are still a few people like myself who do believe that there is such a thing.
Yes. During the holiday season, it could be challenging to maintain the work-life balance because both your professional and then also your personal responsibilities kind of ramp up. So I do believe that it's important to, intentionally carve out time for yourself. So for example, this year I'm competing in a tennis tournament, actually on Sunday. So I've been practicing quite a bit. I'm on the court 3 days a week. So that's really my downtime. I mean, not my downtime because that's I'm sweating on the court, but that's my time where I'm giving back to myself is what I'm saying. Something that I love, because oftentimes your energies goes to other people, personally and professionally. So I'm really excited about this. Is my first kind of holiday tournament that I'm participating in. That's really helped me. And, when I'm also, kind of, have a racket in my hand. I don't have my phone in my other hand, right? So I
Okay.
do find that I don't. So I do find not having my email or my phone, next to me, really does help, like, me have that balance and prioritize self-care during the busy, periods of the holidays. So that's a bit how I try to balance, phone off, racket in hand.
Oh, listen, I love that. That's wonderful. And I'm rooting for you. And I'm going to have all the guests root for you to
Thank
win your
you.
tournament on Sunday. That
I
would be
appreciate
amazing.
you.
We have to get an update.
I will. I'll update you for
Yes,
sure.
we have to get an update. Okay, before we move into the holiday specific questions, I do want to ask you about AI because we all are talking about AI all day, every day, it seems like. Even when we're not talking about it, we find a way to inject it into the conversation.
Mhm.
So, as AI continues to evolve and shape the recruiting landscape, what specific tools, technologies, or forward thinking strategies should TA teams adopt to ensure they remain competitive and innovative through 2025 and beyond?
Well, definitely AI has been shaping recruitment recently. I myself, I'll just be honest, I'm not an expert, right? I'm still learning along with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's important to approach the technology with the strategic mindset. And when I mean that, I mean we can utilize these tools for, things that might take a long time, that could be more efficient, like maybe candidate sourcing or resume screening. I think these tools will
Mm,
definitely be a bit more important, throughout 2025 and beyond.
okay.
Things that can automate repetitive tasks. I would say I definitely want to utilize AI for those tasks, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
maybe sorting through or, um, oh, I'm sorry, am I still there?
You're still here.
Okay, cool. Whether it's sorting through or sorting through resumes, right? I think that sometimes that could be a repetitive task. Maybe we can use AI to rank the resumes,
Yeah.
but I do think it's important to leave that human side as well.
Mm-hmm.
Recruitment is all about building relationships, and we really do
Absolutely.
want to ensure warm, candidate experience throughout the process. So I fully believe that, talent acquisition should embrace the tools, but also enhance the human side to recruitment and the personal touch to recruitment as well. So,
Yes.
we're going to be working on productivity and accuracy, and that's going to be a big help. AI will definitely help that side of to streamline our operations, but we want to also not sacrifice that human connection that makes recruitment so powerful.
Absolutely. We got to be high tech and high touch, as I like to say.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yes. Well, I have truly enjoyed getting to know more about you and your recruiting strategies and how you approach things. You are delightful. I'm looking
Well, thank
forward
you.
to learning more about you, continuing to interact with you online, etc. So we can we can learn more together. So
Yes.
moving into the holiday section, what is your favorite holiday tradition?
Yes. My favorite holiday tradition, that's really tricky. I
Yeah.
would say that recently, actually, I have come to really like the office holiday party.
Really?
Yes, after spending 4 years of remote work
Uh,
in my, apartment, and the four walls got, closer and closer, and kind of missing that in-person touch to,
mm,
working with your colleagues. So I know that might be a bit unconventional, but
hmm.
I've been really enjoying the office holiday party more and just celebrating, the wins and, talking about, the losses and, lighthearted way
Okay.
with colleagues. It's been a meaningful tradition this year. Actually, today I have another one, my third,
Ooh,
a third holiday party. It's an in-person one this time. So,
awesome.
yeah, really excited for it. And I think, the world of hybrid and work at home has definitely brought a special touch to engaging with our colleagues, in person.
I think that's awesome. And
Mhm.
I'm not gonna yuck, I'm not gonna even yuck that yum. Like that's I love like no, that's me. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
It. I'm not mad at that. And then maybe we could add holiday tennis tournament to
Oh,
as a new tradition in the
for
coming
sure.
years. Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure. Yeah, that might be a new tradition for me as well.
Yeah. What is your most cherished holiday memory and how does it continue to influence the way that you celebrate today?
I would say my cherished holiday memory will come from me living in Japan.
Ooh,
So I discovered that in that country, actually, Christmas is celebrated with a unique romantic kind of way,
okay.
similar to Valentine's Day.
Interesting.
hmm So instead of a traditional turkey, that we have here in America for Thanksgiving, they actually pre-order KFC for Christmas. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
I mean, they pre-order it weeks in advance, and they're very like
KFC is a big deal in Japan
it's a
then.
big deal. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it's a fascinating twist on the holiday customs. While I don't really, adopt that tradition, I do appreciate the more intimate and, magical quality of Christmas that was
Okay.
celebrated over there. So I look back on it with nostalgia, and it definitely adds a special layer to the holiday season for me.
Yes. And shout
Mhm.
out to all of my Jewish friends who do not celebrate Christmas, but celebrate Hanukkah. But on Christmas, they order Chinese food. Like, I don't know any that don't. They all get Chinese food
Oh
for some
wow.
reason.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's a New
Nice.
York, maybe it's a New York thing.
Okay. There's a lot of
Yeah.
good Chinese food in New York, so I'm
Yeah.
not
Okay.
knocking.
I'm not either, but, all my Jewish friends seem to get Chinese food on Christmas Day.
Love it.
All right. Thinking about music, movies, and food, what are your absolute must haves and absolute must not haves during the holiday season?
Okay. Um, I guess I'll start on a positive note.
Okay.
I would say A Charlie Brown Christmas is a must
Oh,
watch movie for me during the holiday season. It takes me back to my childhood, and
nice.
that was something that we watch every year. I used to do a lot of karaoke during the holiday times, a lot of holiday songs, the Mariah Carey and the Wham and
Yes.
everything. So, but I haven't been able to find a good karaoke place near me, so I haven't really kept this
Oh.
tradition alive the last couple of years. It was something that I mostly did in Japan.
Okay.
Um, but I think when it comes to food, I love enjoying some holiday treats. Um,
Cookies.
cookies. They're good. They're not must have for me. I'm not really a big fan of the heavy desserts, but
Okay.
it's all about balance. So I'll have one or two.
All right. All right. Well, no, you're in training. You got to
Right, right. I need
maintain.
to be a little bit healthy.
Yes, yes, you do. All right. Do you have a favorite holiday destination or do you prefer to stay home?
Yeah, I have not ever traveled for the holidays. Actually, I usually stay home.
Okay.
I would love to go somewhere warm, but no, I usually stay home. It's just easy to relax during the busy time of year.
Okay. And then, we've reached our last question.
Okay.
Oh, because I'm having so much fun. All
No
right.
worries.
Do you set any New Year's resolutions? And if so, do you have any unique or interesting ones you'd like to share for 2025?
Sure. So I do set New Year's resolutions, but it's more of like a goal planning.
Okay.
I usually will hunker down, turn off my phone, go somewhere secluded. It can be even the nearby Barnes and Nobles where no one can find me.
Well, now they know, and they're going to be
now
looking
you know
for you.
where it is. But I'll try to do some goal planning for what I want to accomplish in the new year. So it's not really like a resolution, more so I really try to get the, where, why, and how, and be specific.
Okay.
So yeah, for 2025, I know that I definitely want to stay curious and take more intentional actions when it comes to my craft and recruitment. I'm really committed to deepening my knowledge of the field. I find it, exciting, and I just want to be a bit more strategic probably for 2025, especially, with this new job that I have right now. I'm looking to continue to learn a little bit more about the organization and how they do recruitment and how I could help support. And then on a personal note, I guess my local gym is closing down, so I'll have to find a new one. So standard practice for the New Year resolution would be to find a new gym and get into a new routine so I can be physically sharp as well as mentally sharp. So that'll be another one for me.
All right. It's awesome. Clifton, I have so enjoyed you. This was a great way to close out Rocking Around the Recruiter Tree. I want to thank you. I want to thank all of our guests, Christina Minyard, Dorian Baker, V. Richardson, Tiffany Toussaint. I want to give a special and huge thanks to my co-host, who unfortunately was not here again today. He is busy during the holiday season, Rich Rosner. Who is always a pleasure to work with. I want to thank my friends at Purple Acorn, the HR Morning Show, for continuing to support and promote Rockin' Around. And I am Kirsten Griggs, the Tribe Recruiter, and I'm signing out till 2025. Thanks, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.